You do not have a modern brain. You have a Stone Age alarm system wearing headphones, holding a phone, and pretending everything is fine. That is why a dark hallway can feel alive. Why one bad headline can beat 10 good ones. Why a tiny social rejection can ruin your day. And why an embarrassing memory from 7 years ago can kick your bedroom door open at 2 a.m. like it pays rent. Your brain is not broken, it is old. And a lot of modern life is just ancient survival software running in a world it was never designed for. Start with darkness. Today, darkness means you forgot to charge your phone, or the hallway light is off, or you're trying to sleep like a normal person for once. But for most of human history, darkness meant the world became expensive. You could not see the ground. You could not see the stranger. You could not see the thing making that tiny sound in the bushes. So your brain made a rule. If you cannot see it, check it. That rule was useful around a fire. It is less useful when you are staring at a coat on a chair and your brain goes, "Good evening." That is obviously a man. But the brain would rather be ridiculous than dead. That is the first ancient setting, better embarrassed than eaten. Now add the feeling of being watched. You know that moment when a room is empty, but it does not feel empty? Your eyes scan the doorway, the corner, the gap under the bed. Nothing is there, but your brain still whispers, "Check again." This is not because you secretly live in a horror movie. It is because your brain is a pattern machine, and one of its favorite patterns is eyes. 2 dots in the dark. Could be buttons, could be shadows, could be a face. In the ancient world, mistaking shadows for eyes cost you a second. Mistaking eyes for shadows could cost you everything. So the brain guesses danger first and apologizes later, which is how a pile of laundry becomes a criminal at midnight. And honestly, some laundry does look guilty. But fear is only one part of the old system. The next one is bad news. Bad news feels louder than good news because your brain is not trying to be happy. It is trying to survive. A perfect sunset is nice. A calm morning is nice. A berry is nice. But a threat is urgent. One angry face in the group matters more than 10 friendly ones. One strange noise matters more than a quiet forest. One headline saying everything is fine cannot compete with one headline saying something might be wrong. Your ancient brain learned to treat danger like breaking news. The modern internet learned the same thing. It does not need to invent your fear. It only needs to press the button that was already there. This is why doom scrolling can feel like responsibility. Your brain says, "I am staying informed." Your thumb says, "I have been moving for 40 minutes, and I fear I now work for the phone." The old alarm is useful, but when every glowing rectangle can pretend to be a survival signal, the alarm never fully turns off. Now let us make it more personal. Social rejection. Why does being ignored hurt so much? Why can one unanswered message feel louder than an entire normal day? Because for an ancient human, the group was not just company. The group was food, warmth, defense, knowledge, status, mating chances, and someone to notice if you got bitten by something stupid. Being outside the group was not a vibe, it was danger. So your brain became obsessed with social signals. Did they smile differently? Did the group get quiet when you arrived? Did someone read your message and not answer? Modern version, 3 dots appear, then disappear. Ancient brain translation. The tribe has met without you and voted you into the forest. Obviously, that is dramatic, but your nervous system was not built to be chill about exile. It was built to repair belonging before belonging disappeared. Which brings us to Cringe, the tiny courtroom in your head. You are trying to sleep. Everything is peaceful. Then, your brain says, "Remember when you said, 'you too' to the waiter after they said, 'enjoy your meal'? Emergency meeting." Why does the brain do this? Because embarrassment is social pain with homework. It says, "Review the mistake. Update the script. Do not lose status next time. In a small tribe, reputation mattered. If people thought you were dangerous, useless, selfish, or weird in the wrong way, that could cost you trust. So the brain keeps a library of social mistakes. Unfortunately, the librarian works night shifts and has no sense of proportion. That is why your brain can replay a tiny, awkward moment like it was a courtroom documentary. The goal is protection. The result is you whispering into a pillow, "Why am I like this?" Next ancient setting. Disgust. Disgust is one of the most underrated survival systems in your body. Before microscopes, hospitals, expiration dates, and people washing their hands with something stronger than hope, your body needed a fast way to say, "Do not touch that." Bad smell? Nope. Strange texture? Nope. Rotten food? Huge nope. Someone coughs directly into their hand and then reaches into the shared snack bowl? Modern nope, ancient nope, universal nope. Disgust works before logic. It does not write an essay. It grabs your face and pulls it backward. That reaction helped keep disease away. Today, it can still protect you, but it can also overreact, especially when your brain treats unfamiliar things like contamination. The ancient system says, better avoid one safe thing than touch one deadly thing. Again, the brain is not polite. It is old. Then there is gossip. Everyone says they hate gossip. And then someone says, "You will not believe what happened." And suddenly, the whole room becomes a courtroom with snacks. Why? Because social information used to be survival information. Who can be trusted? Who steals? Who lies? Who is angry? Who helped someone when no one was watching? In small groups, knowing the social map mattered. Gossip was not only drama, it was reputation tracking. Your brain loves stories about people because people are the most complicated predators, partners, friends, rivals, and opportunities you will ever meet. So when gossip arrives, your brain leans forward. It says, "This may affect the tribe." Your modern mouth says, "I do not want drama." Your ancient brain has already pulled up a chair. And finally, scarcity. Why do limited time offers work? Why does only 2 left suddenly make a thing look more valuable? Why can an empty shelf make people want something they did not even care about yesterday? Because your brain came from a world where resources were not guaranteed. Food changed with seasons, weather changed plans, injury changed everything. If something useful was available, waiting could be dangerous. So scarcity became a signal. Limited means pay attention. Rare means may be important. Almost gone means move. The modern world turned that ancient button into marketing. Your brain sees one red label saying, "Ending soon," and suddenly, a terrible plastic gadget starts looking like destiny. This does not mean you are stupid. It means the old system is easy to trigger. So what do we do with all this? You cannot delete the Stone Age brain, and you probably should not. It keeps you alert. It reads faces. It avoids disease. It values belonging. It notices danger. It saves lessons from embarrassment. It prepares for shortage. The problem isn't that the alarm exists. The problem is when the alarm becomes your boss, when darkness becomes a monster, when headlines become a slot machine, when one unanswered message becomes exile, when one awkward memory becomes your identity. The trick is not to shame the brain. The trick is to notice the alarm before you obey it. Dark hallway, old alarm, bad headline spiral, old alarm, cringe memory at 2 a.m., very old alarm, terrible timing. Your brain is ancient. Your world is modern. And somewhere between the two is the moment where you can pause and say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I am not outside the fire circle anymore."